Russian drones strike Ukrainian defense line in precision attack. A tense Russian assault unfolded against a previously identified Ukrainian defense line, where enemy troops had taken cover in fortified trenches. Russian drones closely monitored the area, capturing every movement and pinpointing the suspected positions of Ukrainian soldiers. Once targets were confirmed, the drones launched a calculated strike by dropping small bombs directly into the trenches. The precision of these drone attacks caused significant disruption among Ukrainian forces, weakening their defensive hold on the line.
Сопротивлялись, сразу не сдались. Где блашники ваши? Блашники где ваши?
По-1962 солдат ПВО.
Профиль работы БПЛАшник тоже?
ПВО сбивали.
Точки актуальные можешь показать? Вашего базирования, говорю, точки актуальные можешь показать?
Вот это та, которая была.
Я говорю, соседние точки, где стоят.
Я не знаю, я не в курсе, честно говоря. Я не в курсе. Тихо.
Точно не в курсе?
Точно. Точно.
А ты, может, ты в курсе?
Ні, клянусь, своя дитина.
Как вас сюда закинули вообще?
By Russian Defense Ministry on progress of special military operation. The armed forces of the Russian Federation continue the special military operation. The Sever group of forces inflicted losses on 3 mechanized brigades, an air assault regiment of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, and a territorial defense brigade close to Stepnoy, Varakino, Grunovka, and Alexivka, Sumy region. In Kharkov direction, units of a motorized infantry brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and a territorial defense brigade have been hit near Volchansk and Zopnovoy, Kharkov region. The AFU losses amounted to up to 150 troops, an armored fighting vehicle, 7 motor vehicles, and 3 artillery guns including a Western-made artillery gun. 3 electronic warfare stations, an ammunition dump, and 5 material depots were neutralized. Units of the Zapad group of forces improved the tactical situation. Russian elements inflicted losses on manpower and hardware of 2 mechanized brigades and an assault brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine near Yampol, Shandrigalovo, and Karpovka, Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy losses amounted to more than 240 troops, a tank, 5 armored fighting vehicles, 22 motor vehicles, and 2 artillery guns including a Western-made artillery gun. 9 electronic warfare stations and 9 ammunition depots were neutralized. Units of the YUG group of forces took more advantageous lines and positions. For mechanized brigades, a mountain assault brigade, an assault brigade, an airmobile brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, a marine brigade, and a territorial defense brigade have been hit near Zakotnoy, Platinovka, Konstantinovka, Seversk, Alexandro-Kalinovo, and Artima, Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy lost up to 260 troops, 4 armored fighting vehicles, 15 motor vehicles, and 4 artillery guns. 2 electronic warfare stations, a counterfire radar, and 2 material depots were neutralized. Units of the center group of forces continued advancing into the depth of enemy defense. Russian formations inflicted losses on manpower and hardware of 3 mechanized brigades, 2 air assault brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, a marine brigade, a territorial defense brigade, and a National Guard brigade near Teretskoy, Artyomovka, Dmitrov, Torskoy, Vladimirovka, Zolotoy Kolodez, Novoalexandrovka, and Krasnoarmysk, Donetsk People's Republic. The AFU losses amounted to up to 460 troops, 6 armored fighting vehicles, 3 motor vehicles, and 2 field artillery guns. As a result of the offensive actions, units of the Vostok Group of Forces liberated Olgovskoy, Zaporozhye region. Russian troops engaged 2 mechanized brigades, an assault brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, and a National Guard brigade close to Veliko-Mikhailovka, Gavrilovka, Malomikhailovka, Novonikolayevka, Dnipropetrovsk region, and Novoivanovka, Zaporozhye region. The AFU lost up to 260 troops, 2 tanks, an armored fighting vehicle, and 10 motor vehicles. 2 electronic warfare stations and an ammunition depot were eliminated. The Dnieper Group of Forces inflicted losses on manpower and hardware of a mechanized brigade, 2 coastal defense brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, a territorial defense brigade, and a National Guard brigade near Stepnogorsk, Malaya Tokmachka, Zaporozhye region, Belozerka, Antonovka, Kherson region, and Nikopol, Dnipropetrovsk region. Up to 65 troops, 6 motor vehicles, and an artillery gun were neutralized. 5 electronic warfare stations and 2 ammunition depots were destroyed. Operational tactical aviation, attack drones, missile troops and artillery of the Russian groups of forces hit the transport infrastructure used for the interests of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, long-range UAV depots and launching sites as well as temporary deployment sites of Ukrainian formations and foreign mercenaries in 149 areas. Air defense units shot down 82 fixed-wing unmanned aerial vehicles. In total, since the beginning of the special military operation, the enemy lost 667 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 84,151 unmanned aerial vehicles, 628 anti-aircraft missile systems, 25,116 tanks and other armored fighting vehicles, 1,591 MLRS combat vehicles, 29,590 field artillery guns and mortars, 41,811 units of support military vehicles.